Whether or not you've ever stepped into a church before, you've probably seen one of these, a Bible. It's the most read, most translated, most debated, most placed in a hotel room book of all time, and people have been reading it for thousands of years. And yet, for many of us, the Bible can feel really complex and intimidating. I mean, where do we start? And what does an ancient book have to do with everyday life in Murfreesboro, Tennessee? Well, there's a million different ways to start trying to get a better understanding of the Bible. You can read it on your own, study it with others, or even come to a service in Three Crosses or New Harvest Sanctuary to hear people teach about it. Heck, you can even take some classes about the Bible across I-24 at MTSU. But this year at World Outreach, we're going to try something a little different. We're going to dive in and look at the Bible as one great big story, to get to know the characters and storylines like we would if we were watching an epic movie. We're going to take a journey together along the timeline of this great story. Our hope is, in the end, that we'll see the Bible in new ways, that the story would come to life and change us, that we'll find that we truly have a mighty source in the Bible. So sit back, take a deep breath, and get ready, because here we go. The narrative of the Bible starts with God. The Bible is an unfolding drama about God and about what God is doing on planet Earth. The story begins with Earth in chaos and God beginning to bring order to that chaos. Over the course of 6 days, God spoke and our world began to take shape. Each day, God would stop and look at whatever was created, clouds or grass or mountains or raccoons, and think, that's good. The world was perfect, just as God intended it to be. Then, on the 6th day, God decided to make a creature called man by scooping up some dirt from the earth and breathing life into it. God named him Adam. God placed Adam in a garden that was full of plants and animals. Then, God told Adam it was his job to take care of everything in the garden, even to name each and every one of the animals. In the garden were 2 unique trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God told Adam to eat anything from the garden, except for the fruit that came from the tree of knowledge. As you're probably already aware, the story doesn't end there. At some point, God decided it wasn't good for man to live alone. God wanted a suitable companion and helper for Adam, but nothing else God had created so far did the trick. So God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep and pulled a rib out of his body, using it to form another creature. God called this creature woman and named her Eve. After doing all this amazing work, God took a break on the 7th day. God gave a special blessing on this day of the week, setting it apart to be different than the other 6 days. Adam and Eve lived in the garden, enjoying a perfect relationship with one another. They lived perfectly with their surroundings, taking care of the earth as God had told them to. And they had a perfect relationship with God, spending time with God each day. Talk about mighty. That's some pretty amazing stuff God did. Not a bad start to the story, huh? Life, for now, was just as God had intended it to be.